Alright guys, welcome back to another exercise execution video today with BB Fitness Academy. I'm going to be taking you through the leg press. Now this is a plate loaded leg press, a linear leg press as well, so it means that you're pushing up in a straight line rather than with a pivot press. You're actually coming down in more of a squat pattern, which is, for me, I prefer the pivot press, but if you've got access to this alone, then this is a great exercise you can use to take the legs to complete failure with heavy load without putting any pressure through the lower back. So anyway, first of all, when we set up, you've got the seating position to adjust here. So you can either come forward like that with a more upright seat, or you can come back. Now me personally, some people don't like it all the way back because they feel like they slide, but if you strap yourself in, you don't have that problem at all. If you go all the way back as well, it usually allows for a better position to come much deeper. I don't like coming forward, although people say that it can focus more on the quad. If you bring the seat forward, it's just limiting the range of motion and it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. So go back, allow for more range, and you can set your feet up depending on where you want to challenge the leg. So we'll move into position, make sure the safeties are on. So this is the safety, adjust this accordingly. So I'll go right up to the top of here now. Set up in position. First of all, make sure your back's in neutral spine. So I'm nice in a safe position and use the handles for safety here. So then you want to set up your feet, right? So get your handles ready. So you're in a safe position now. So normally I wouldn't like to go any lower than this, right? Because if you go lower than neutral, than the middle of the platform, you're going to be putting a little bit more stress on the knees. Okay, so if you've got any knee issues, I wouldn't do that at all. With going in the middle, it's kind of like the happy medium between going too high and too low, and it allows you to come in a safe position and more importantly a strong position for you as well. Your knees aren't going to be able to travel too far over your foot, whereas if you come down here they will be able to. But again, if you do that, it allows you to lengthen the quad more. So it depends on what you're after from this exercise. So without blowing you too much with information and mashing your brain, what I would do is I would set up personally in the middle, so you're going to be nice and strong and more importantly safe. So then you take the weights, you push out, and then you push the safeties away. Okay, so you make sure they're away before you start the set, nice and locked out and strong. So then you grab the handles, you're in a safe position, take your breath in, slow on the way down, make sure that your knees are following, don't take your hands off, I'm just showing you an example. So make sure your knees are in line with your toes. So my toes are pointing slightly outward, my feet are actually just outside of my shoulder width or in line with my shoulders. And I'm pressing all my weight through my heels. I'm not going onto my toes like that. I'm pushing through my heels, but I'm keeping my feet flat on the platform for stability and balance. Okay, so even though I could actually lift my toes up, because I'm pressing through my heels, I'm actually using the full foot for balance. So you're thinking about pressing through your heels, you're coming all the way down into that position, it's uncomfortable, you feel it now all through your quad. If your goal is to target the quad, then that range is perfect. Because when you come further down now, you're going to bring in more hamstring and more glute at the back. Okay, so if you want to just come to that position there, that's fine for the quads. But if you want to come down into your active range until you start to feel it shifting and pulling your lower back off the pad, then that's your active range. If you come any lower, you're just going into passive range and you're going to be using other movements, other joints, other muscles to bring you out of that position. Okay, so stay nice and strong in that position and then drive back up. So slow on the way down in your active range until you feel yourself start to move out of position and then drive back up. Don't worry about people that shout to you and say you should come all the way down, all the way back. It's got to be full range of motion within your active range for the targeted muscle. So, like I just said, just come down until you feel comfortable, everything still feels good, and then drive back up. If you come too far down again, just an example, my bum is coming off the pad, my lower back is now arched, I'm going to cause problems in my spine, you don't want that. So come down till you feel comfortable and then drive back up. So, I hope that makes sense, that's the leg press. Just to give you a little variation at the end as well, if you wanted to do this single leg, all you need to do is do exactly the same. You don't want to put your leg in the middle, you want to put it exactly the same as you normally would. Lift off, keep your hands tucked on, and what I like to do is I like to actually use just my toes so that it allows my hips to stay in line, so I have a little spot as well. So I'm pressing now with my working leg. This is a unilateral movement. Okay, so coming down and I'm just using this as support to press up. Okay, So what this is going to do is, a lot of people when they do unilateral movements, they take their leg out of it completely. The problem with that is now your hip is actually moved out of position, and this is just, it doesn't sit well on me doing this. So I like to keep my legs together in line so my hips stay in a strong position, but I'm actually just lifting my toe onto my toes, so I'm not pressing anything through this, and I'm just working this leg as normal and driving up. Okay, so it's there just to keep my hip in line. And I'm driving up. Okay? So, if you've got any questions, make sure you ask your coach. Make sure you only perform the number of reps stated on your specific program. If you've got any questions, let us know. PB Fitness Academy, thank you, and I'll see you soon.